Let's start the second half of the meeting with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so our speaker seeker didn't do her job. So we don't have a main speaker tonight. I'm it. So I'm going to step in for a minute, and now I'm getting nervous, even though I'm at this mic every Tuesday night. I'm going to try to, I've gotten a lot of hope from you guys recently, and I kind of want to share my story with you. So anyways, I'm Liz, I'm an alcoholic. God, I started drinking probably when I was like old enough to reach the counter. I came from a long line of alcoholics. My grandpa every day drank 7 and 7, and that was my first drink. I started learning how to mix a 7 and 7 when I could reach the counter, and that's kicked me off. I think I was probably like 9 or 10. My dad was an alcoholic. When I was born, he probably drank for the first 2 or 3 years, and then he stopped, and he just completely cut it. He didn't do AA or didn't go to rehab. He actually turned to his faith. So he's Catholic. I was born and raised Catholic. I'm also a Catholic in recovery, just FYI. But my dad, when he passed, he had like over 53 years of sobriety. My brother is an alcoholic in recovery. He does recovery a little bit different than me, but he has about 23 years of being sober. So I'm saying that because it's possible. I do believe alcoholism, it's hereditary. It doesn't mean that you're born with that disease, but in my opinion, and I'm just sharing you guys my opinion, not what I've read, I'm just showing my experiences, is that people that come from families, older siblings, that when they started smoking pot, we started smoking pot. And that just kind of progressed. I also, when I was younger, I was molested by my step-grandfather and my step-uncle. So that added to, I have a lot of trauma. I also was the youngest of 4 kids, and when I was 8 years old, my sister, who was 11, died. She had a childhood disease, and she was gone really quick. And the thing with my sister, and what I realized throughout my journey, was I always blamed myself for her death. She died of a disease called Rice syndrome, which is a childhood disease, and what happens is either as a kid you get chickenpox or the flu. And back in the day, I was born in the 70s. I'm getting ready to turn 55 this year. It used to be aspirin. Everyone would give you aspirin as a kid. And so when she was given the aspirin, it actually affected her brain. She was in a coma for 3 months, and her brain swelled, and she died. And that happened during Christmas. And I think, like, for me, my higher power is my angels, and it starts with her. So I think she's always been watching me, because throughout my life, I look back and how many times I could have been further victimized or dead or killed somebody. I think she's got me. So I'm blessed to have my tribe of angels that are watching out for me. So during high school, we drank a lot. I didn't finish high school. I was a cutter, not in the knife cutter, but I would go to school and I would just never go to school. My mom and dad, they thought they were really cool that they would drop me off at school and I would stay there. And I just borrowed someone's car and would leave. And then I would come back during lunch and pick up my friends, take them to lunch, and then drop them back off at school. But I didn't finish high school. I got my GED. And I still went to parties. And the parties, I didn't realize, like, why did I always black out? I could never remember anything. So I instantly became a blackout drunk. But before I blacked out, there was always a whole series of, I'd be really happy, then I'd get really sad, then I'd get really mad, and then I'd black out. Before I black out, or while I was blacking out, I had a mom. My mom is probably my biggest fan and the biggest enabler I have in my life. She would always come pick me and my friends up so we didn't have to drink and drive, and she kept us safe that way for a bit. That lasted till I was like in my 20s. I got in my first car accident when I graduated from high school. I did get my GED, and my first car accident, I was driving my Honda Civic up the freeway, and I ran into the center divider and then coasted to the side, and I couldn't figure out how I got out of my car because the car was all fucked up on the driver's side. I was waiting on the side of the freeway. These two guys picked me up, and they were kind enough to take me to the next exit and drop me off, and my brother came and got me. So I was safe, I didn't get a deer, and we just kept drinking. Drinking was always part of our weekend. I never thought it was a big problem. I got my first DUI when I was driving up back from Sacramento, which was another place I partied at. And I fell asleep at the wheel, or blacked out at the wheel, and I actually ran into the back of a semi. And I was driving a Honda Prelude. So I'm still here. That's why I thank my angels. I think my sister Kathy had me and I didn't die. But I'm sure you guys have experienced, or if you have, medical people aren't really nice to drunks in an ER. So they were assholes to me, but I deserved it. So that was my first DUI. My second DUI, I had to do the DUI classes. I never thought alcohol still was a big problem. I just knew I liked to drink. And I would always drink till I blacked out. Still didn't connect the dots. I got my second DUI in my 20s, and then I got sober for a little bit. And then when I started turning my 30s, my friends turned me on to hanging out in San Francisco even more. So my mission in life was to find a man that drank more than me, which was not really possible. But we started hanging out at the Irish bars. And the Irish guys really liked me. I was loud, I was fun, I could drink. I remember my first Irish bar in San Francisco. We went in, me and my girlfriend went in there, and we drank all day, and we each just bought one drink, and we just had drinks lined up. So I eventually found my prey. I found my husband, got married, and unfortunately, I picked the wrong Irish guy. I was kind of fucked from that way. I don't know if you guys know about the Irish, but he was from Ireland, and some of them, they make a pledge to the Catholic Church where they don't drink. And that's the kind of guy I found. Although he did start drinking before he met me, so it wasn't my fault he broke the pledge to the Catholic Church. So I'm just putting that out there too. But I still drank more than him. He left me shortly after we got married, and I chased him to Ireland. And that's when I moved over and I lived in the UK. We got back together, and I lived in the UK for 11 years. Over in the UK, it's definitely a drinking culture. I had a good job. I worked retail. I was always a hard worker. I progressed in retail. When I was in my 20s, I got my bachelor's in criminal justice, and I thought I wanted to be a correctional counselor, which is kind of ironic because look what I'm doing now. But I was working retail, and I was making more money, and I didn't have to wear a gun or an ugly uniform, so I'm like, okay, I'm good. So when I moved over to Europe or to England, I was working for Gap, and my drinking just progressed. I was still functional. I kind of liked the culture over there. We could go and have a few pints during lunch and then go back to our desk and continue working. That was pretty cool until it got out of control. And then I got a different job, and my job was still with Gap, but I traveled. I ended up going to 42 different countries around the world, opening up Gap stores. And it worked for a while. I loved it. I got to travel. I traveled on Gap's American Express. I had an endless amount of money. I drank a lot. There was a lot of VIP parties, and it was a lot of fun. And then right before my last year of working for Gap, my husband got sick of my shit. I remember coming back fucked up on the flight back from Russia, and me and one of my coworkers were both like, we're gonna be better partners, because we just admitted to ourselves like how shitty we were to our partners. And when I got home, I was gonna turn this leaf over and stop, cut back a little bit on my drinking, but still at that time, I really didn't think it was a problem because I was still functioning. I don't know how many of you guys were functional alcoholics, and you can still think like, oh, it's not a problem. I just drink more than the average bear. And so when I got back that night after, swearing to my friend that we were gonna make a difference, my husband had already packed up and he had cleared out and he left. He was man enough to stand there and tell me that he was leaving, but I was fucked up, so I really don't remember what he said. And so he went and started his new life, and I stayed in England for another year. I stayed in England till I lost my job at Gap. I lost it because I was opening up a store in India, and we were there for 2 weeks, and it was a big party fest, and I behaved inappropriately and unprofessionally to one of the VPs, and when I got back, I got handed my notice. So I stayed in England for a couple of months, and I was starting to, I don't know how many of you guys are alcoholics, but we start to break down physically. That's one of the things that happened to us. So I started getting this pain in my side when I was over there. Oh, and P.S., when they fired me, I had been working with Gap for 15 years, so they had to pay me a lot of money. So they gave me a lot of money, and I started working at a bar. And I was like, this is cool. The pub is like 3 blocks away from my house. We started drinking a lot. Some of the crew did coke, did a little bit of coke, but drugs really aren't my story. I tried drugs before, but I always had alcohol. So it was, to me it was always like, oh, I could do drugs, like when, I'll hold that for then. So anyways, I started getting a pain in my side, and they couldn't figure it out. And I had no family over there. I just had fair-weathered friends that I would drink with. So, my husband left, I had no job, and so of course what I do? Come back to California. So I came back to California, and I had gone to doctors, they just couldn't figure out what was going on with me. And when I got to California, my sister had a house here that she was renting and had a spare room. And so I had a choice. I could either pay rent and stay with my sister, or I could move up north to my parents' house and live for free. So I decided to stay with my sister, which I thought was a good, responsible decision, except our other roommate owned a wine bar. So I started working at that wine bar. And then it just became completely out of control. We were drinking all the time. She was smoking pot, but I was working part-time, and the rest of the time, my full-time job was just getting drunk. So that kind of went on. I got some decent jobs. I lost 2 jobs because I was drinking too much. The last job I had, I was drunk on the job. I tried to deny that I was drinking, and I don't know about you guys, but we go to whatever lengths we can to lie. I was denying that I was drunk even though I was, so much so I drove myself, and I was driving all the time, drove myself to urgent care and had a blood test done so I could prove that I was sober. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but I never got the results back because I knew the results. I was gonna get fired. And I got fired, but before I got fired, I don't know if you guys that are alcoholics have ever experienced it, but I was a manager and I used to make my schedule. So I'd make my schedule where I would get off early on a Friday, have Saturday and Sunday off, come in late on the Monday, and it was just on all weekend. And I did that for a while, and it got really to the point where one Monday I went to work, and I was at a point where I was shaking all the time if I wasn't drinking. And I actually had 2 seizures, and I woke up in the hospital and still didn't think I had a problem. My family was trying to tell me I had a problem, but I wasn't hearing it. My sister finally convinced me to go to therapy. So I started therapy and thinking that was gonna help. And I I tell this story because people talk a lot about harm reduction. And I don't know if you guys have heard harm reduction or tried harm reduction, but for an alcoholic like me, it didn't work. So my therapist told me, asked me, Liz, how many bottles are you drinking? And I said, about 2 bottles of wine. And she's like, why don't you cut it down to 1? And so she tried that for a little bit with me. And when I start drinking, I can't stop until I pass out. So harm reduction did not work for me. I'm an all or nothing kind of girl, and I was all in. When I was doing group therapy, one of the guys in the group was like, you just need AA. You just need to go to AA. And I was like, nope, I'm good. I never wanted to be part of a 12-step program. So that progressed, and coming up on Thanksgiving, I went up to Thanksgiving to visit my family. I got my 3rd DUI when I was there, but thank God there was enough years in between that it just counted as 1. And then that's when I started thinking, oh, maybe I need to go into treatment. So my sister started researching residential treatments, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not ready for that. So I started doing outpatient. And this was after I lost my job, got a DUI, and I started doing outpatient. Outpatient really isn't for people that are still wanting to use or drink, in my opinion. It did not work for me. Thankfully, and I was over at Twin Town in Torrance, and I kept testing dirty because I was trying to figure out how I could still drink and then make my family happy by going to a program. And finally, the director of the program pulled me aside one day, and he said, Liz, this isn't working for you. You need residential treatment. And that's kind of when I surrendered. When you get kicked out of a rehab for still drinking, I don't know. I was just like, okay, I'm done. So my sister found me a place in Long Beach, which was about 2 miles away from my house. And it was a private pay because I still had really good insurance. And I'm saying that because in that program for residential, I lasted 40 days. When I went in, I committed to 30. And then they were saying, oh, you should stay a little bit longer. And I'm like, okay, I'll do 60 days. But with that program, it was very similar to Fred Brown. Like, we had to write our autobiography. We had to talk about our feelings, our emotions, do all those groups. But the most important thing that rehab taught me was about the fellowship. So we had to go to meetings, and with those meetings, we had to get phone numbers. And unlike you guys in residential, we were not allowed to have our phone. The only communication that we could have with people was we could use the house phone to call 2 members of our circle, and it couldn't be the opposite sex unless they were relatives. So we had to cut out the men, or for me, I had to cut out the men in my life. Even one of my best friends was gay, and I kept saying, he's gay, there's nothing going on, and I still couldn't call him, and he still couldn't visit me. But with having those, before I even called my family, we had to call 2 alcoholics in recovery before we even got to use the phone. So that was a huge thing. So I don't know about you guys, but it's really hard in the beginning to pick up that phone and ask for help or to connect with other people. So I'm grateful for that program that they taught me to do that. So obviously I left that rehab. I was gonna be there for 60. I got pissed off because I'm a rule follower, even though I'm an alcoholic. But the rules need to be consistent. If some people get a different rule than me and I think they're getting different treatment, I have a problem with that. So we went to a meeting, and one of the girls that was in the rehab with me told everybody that we were in rehab and where it was. So they blew away our anonymity. And I came back and told the management, and they pretty much were like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, well, there's something I can do, and I left. So I walked home that night, and that next day I called the owner of the facility and got into outpatient. And the funny thing about walking home, he gave me so much shit about walking in the middle of the night through the streets of Long Beach. This is in Belmont Shore, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Belmont Shore, but it's like $1 million homes. Like, no one was gonna, like, I was probably the worst criminal in that area with my DUIs and maybe my shoplifting when I was a kid. So anyways, but what happened after that is I enrolled in outpatient and I finished their program. I was able to get my driver's license back by doing my DUI classes. And then I was also able to see a psychiatrist, and I was on disability for a year. So with that time, I had already burned my retail background. No one in retail was gonna hire me at the money I was making. So I went back to school. So I went back to school at LBCC and started my journey there. And when I finished LBCC, and it was the pandemic was hitting, I was doing addiction studies, and I was also doing human services. And part of the addiction studies program, for you guys that are interested in doing it or currently doing it, it's internship. So I started interning here at Fred Brown with that, and that was over 5 years ago. I've been with the organization for over 5 years. I started off as a group facilitator over at 505, making $17 an hour. And that was pretty humbling from somebody coming from where I think I was, when I left retail, I was probably about $60 an hour. And I was like, fuck, I'm poor. So it made me pretty humble, but it gave me drive. So I started volunteering here as an intern for 8 hours. After the first month, Junie, who used to run the program here, he offered me a part-time position, so I started working part-time for Fred Brown. And then the following month, I was full-time. So that was my journey. I started as a group facilitator. I've been a primary counselor here, and through all that time, I was still going to school. I ended up running intake, and so I was the one that let you guys in, did the screening, brought you into Fred Brown. I brought quite a few of you guys in here on my journey. When I finished at LBCC, I had a AA in human services, I had an AA in addiction studies, and I had an AA in business management with HR. And you know why I did? Because I go to school alcoholically. I do everything in my life alcoholically. So I went for gusto, and when I finished at LBCC, I went to Junie and I was like, what the hell do I do now? I'm done with school. And he's like, get your master's. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, I was in my 50s when I started getting my master's. I got sober when I was 48 years old. And so, you know, I'm coming up on 6.5 years. I went back to school. I got my master's last year while I was working here full time. And now I'm the compliance manager, and I'm working towards my licensure in social work. So I say that not because, woohoo, Liz did all of this, but at my fucking old age, I was able to do all of that. And this is coming from a person that really wanted to die. I wanted to die my whole life. I think I've been trying to kill myself slowly my whole life. I definitely thought by the time I'm 60, I want to be out. I could not see myself living past 60. And now, sober with a new leash on life, I'm like, there's too many things I want to do. I just keep going for it. And you know, I am grateful to be staff here at Fred Brown. I'm grateful to work with you guys on a daily basis. These are things I get to do in my recovery. And trust me, it keeps me grounded. You know, thankfully, relapse is not part of my story, but it definitely could be. And I always like to say yet. When I came into the program, I was never the person that ever said, and I still will never say, that I'm never gonna drink again. I'm really hoping science can figure that out so I can drink like a normal person. But until I see some rats doing it and you're getting away with it, I am not gonna fuck with that. I am the kind of alcoholic, you guys know, I have ego. My ego keeps me in my chair. Because unlike you people that I call my repeat offenders, I don't know if I would have the courage to come back in these rooms if I lapsed. So guess what? I'm not even giving myself that opportunity to do that. And that's what I've set in my ways. But going back to never drinking again, I give myself little goals, right? So when I finished my AA, I was gonna think about, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna still stay on this trajectory, or am I gonna start to pick up? And then when it came to my master's, okay, when I enrolled in my master's, maybe when I get my master's, I'll drink. And that's past a year, so I've gone past that. So I just keep putting little goals in front of me. I don't know what the next little goal is, but until I figure that out, I refuse to pick up. I got too much to lose. And like I said, most importantly, I would lose working with you guys. And you guys keep me humble. You guys inspire me by your stories and what you're going through. And what I'm hoping that you guys get from me, you're never too old, never too young. There's so many possibilities, and if you want them. You know, I didn't get this shit handed to me. I've worked really hard for it, and I'm gonna continue to work hard until I can't. So that's me. That's my story.